Can you really wear your engagement ring during workouts, outdoor activities, or just in general if you have a very active lifestyle? And the answer is definitely yes, if it's done right. In this video, you'll find out how to choose the best setting, how to pick the tough enough gemstone, and the right metal. So let's go. First thing first, let's figure out the setting. And there's quite a few options for our durable engagement ring. The first one is the bezel setting. That's when your gemstones surrounded with the metal all around it. That's the most durable setting out there because your stone literally protected from all the angles. The downside of it is that the light is not going to hit the stone from the side, especially if it's set low as well. What you need to be aware over here, you need to make sure that the cut of your stone is perfect. You want to pay a close attention to it, and there's a separate video where I'm explaining why is that important in a few words. The cut is going to determine how sparkly, how brilliant your diamond or sapphire or any other stone is. The cut is responsible for the sparks. The other solution will be to go with the half bezel setting. That works perfectly in the case of the 3-stone engagement ring. In this case, your center stone is going to be protected by the side stones from the left and from the right, and from the top and from the bottom it's going to be protected by the metal. Yes, your side stones are still exposed to the impact, but it's not as painful for your wallet. Even in the worst case scenario, if you're gonna crack the side stone, you're going to easily replace it just with a fraction of the cost of the center stone, and the center stone going to be protected by it. The next option is the low profile setting, and it actually can be combined with the bezel setting as well, but in this case what is going to happen is that your stone is going to be set as low as possible. It's basically going to be sitting flat on the shank of the ring itself. It significantly reduces your chances catching up on something with your center stone. The downside that your center stone is going to look smaller than, let's say, with the standard profile setting or with the high setting itself. In fact, many people set their rings high to make sure it looks as large as possible. But the downside of it, of course, is durability, and I would say wearability. Sometimes it's set so high that the ring starts spinning around the finger. Another option, and sometimes it's not obvious, is the halo setting. And if it's done right, your center stone is going to be sitting on the same line with the halo itself. And naturally, the halo is going to be protecting your center stone. And yes, it's not a pleasant surprise to see that you lost one of the rings on your halo, or let's say you hit it against something and it cracked. But if you're gonna go and replace 2mm diamond on a side, the diamond itself going to cost you $60-80, and in order to replace it you're gonna spend another $80. It's not nowhere near the cost of the center stone itself, so it's a very good option. But you have to be mindful, you have to make sure that your halo is done right, that the stone is sit properly, there is no gap between it, and it's actually durable by itself. Another very good option, old school option, is Cathedral setting. Those rings are pretty substantial, pretty massive itself. They tend to survive for years and years and years. They were extremely popular in 70s and 80s and still popular to this day. They have pretty massive gallery over there. I'm pretty sure you see in the picture right now on the screen. So you can see that the gallery itself has zero chances to break. Still, you have to be mindful how you're going to set the stone, but in this case, again, you can go either with the bezel setting or you can go with a pretty heavy double prongs or something similar to that. By the way, prongs still an option, but I would highly recommend to use either double prongs or just the white prongs in general to protect the stone, and also make sure that you protecting the most vulnerable parts of the stone. Let's say you're making the engagement ring with a marquee diamond. So in this case, you will have to have the triangle prongs on the top and of the bottom of the stone itself, and you would have at least 4 prongs, better double prongs, on the side of the stone. Same goes for the emerald. You will have to have 4 prongs on the edges of the stone itself. And the next option that I want to mention is the tension setting. It's going to work well in the modern designs itself, in the minimalistic designs, and it's going to work well with the tough stones, the diamonds, sapphires, and so on. In case of the tension setting, you just want to make sure that the shank of the ring is pretty substantial, usually 2-3 times bigger than the standard shanks out there. So in this case, your engagement ring is going to be pretty heavy, about 7 to 9 grams, somewhere there. For comparison, standard engagement ring is going to weigh about 3-4 grams, somewhere there. So if it's something for you, that's a very good option as well. The next thing you have to think about is the metal. And over here, it's pretty simple. You want to go with the 14 karat gold or with the platinum. If you have the budget for the platinum and if you want the silver metal, that's the best option. Usually the platinum setting is going to be twice heavier, and because of that, twice more expensive. It's also much harder to work with the platinum. If you want yellow or rose gold, something like that, go with the 14 karat, not with the 18 karat. 18 karat might be a little bit too soft. 24 karat gold, not even an option for this case. And the third thing that you have to be mindful of is, of course, the center stone. And as you might guess by now, you're going to be pretty limited in your options right over here. Although I have to say that's the best options. So you're going to have your diamonds over here, either natural or lab. Moissanite, of course, extremely durable, 9 on the MOV scale. Sapphires, and we have so many colors of different sapphires, is an option as well. It's 10 to 9 on the MOV scale as well. And I have the separate video on the sapphire, on the natural one, and on the lab one as well, so check them out. Ruby is going to be a great option as well, and again, I have the guide on both of them. Not very obvious option, but very good option is the spinels, and they have a lot of different colors, so definitely check them out. They're significantly more affordable than the sapphires, but provide you with almost everything that sapphire does. And another option, and it's one of my favorite, is Aquamarines and morganites. They are from the same family. They stand 8 on the MOV scale. They're quite scratch resistant, but make sure you understand the MOV scale as well. If it's 10, 9, or 8, yes, it's scratch resistant, but it doesn't mean it's not going to crack. Diamonds are extremely easy to crack, and that's why I was emphasizing the importance of the setting in the first portion of this video. Depending on the specifics of the lifestyle, I would also include or exclude the emerald. The emerald itself is scratch resistant, but quite a lot of time it has those little bubbles inside that gives the beauty to the emerald, but not very stable. So you will need to think either you want to go ahead and risk it, or you want to take a look towards the green sapphire. I would definitely avoid all the soft stone, let's say opals, tanzanite, and anything in that nature. I've seen plenty of vintage opal engagement rings that was taken care of, but again, if you know that you're going to go to the gym, you know that you're going to expose this ring to the different extreme conditions, you probably want to avoid that. Just get yourself a separate opal engagement ring that you're going to be wearing on the special occasions. Finally, you might ask, where do I find this ring, or what do I do in this case? In this case, I would highly recommend to go custom. Make sure you understand the task in details, what kind of lifestyle are we working with, and then creating design based on that. Of course, in every store you will be able to choose certain metal or the stone itself, but in order to make elegant and durable engagement ring, you would definitely have to go custom, and that's why we exist. When you live an active lifestyle, one size fits all simply doesn't work. That's why custom engagement rings could be your best solution. Here at NOVO, we specialize in creating custom engagement rings. Just click the link below, contact us, and we'll guide you through the process. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Don't forget to subscribe and like it, and I'll see you in the next one.